My girlfriend and I, of 30 years of age and 6 years of relationship, cheated on me. Sorry for the mini novel, but I just need some advice. I met my girlfriend through a mutual friend around 2016. She is beautiful and we clicked straight away. We moved in together after about 3 years and things were great. Then about maybe our 5th year together things soured a little bit. Not anyone's fault particularly, but we were just fighting all the time about dumb things. Eventually we broke up that year. This caught me by surprise, as to me, even though our relationship was at a low point, I always believed that we would be okay and things would improve. All I knew was that I loved her so much and that I was willing to work on our relationship. Anyway, fast forward a couple weeks after and she starts contacting me again and we are spending time together again, and eventually she wanted to get back together. Once we got back together things were much better, we were having fun, and generally much happier with how things were going. At this point I thought we had began a new chapter in our relationship and things were looking good for our future. We have been talking about getting married and having kids, etc. So fast forward a year or so later and we are still going strong. We are happy and working towards building a future together. But today she drops a bomb on me out of the blue. So while we were going through the breakup a year ago, about a week before we officially broke up, she went out with her friends and ended up sleeping with a random guy. And then she slept with him again a week later. To make matters more complicated, she got pregnant and had to have an AITA star. She told me this herself, but only because she had a fight with her friend who was threatening to tell me all this. She said she was going to take this secret to her grave. I am devastated. I want to hate her, but just can't, no matter how hard I try. It sucks because things have been so great recently and I was thinking of proposing soon. She is a kind and loving person, has always been super thoughtful and considerate, and I love her to bits. This was very out of character for her. However, she suffers from depression and anxiety, which when mixed with alcohol, causes her to make really terrible decisions and becomes a totally different person. Even though we were breaking up at the time this happened, I still can't help but feel betrayed. I have been faithful this whole time, even during the breakup, and I was not interested in fooling around with other women in the slightest. She seems to be genuinely torn up about it, and wants to stay together. She has suggested couples counseling to try and fix this. She even suggested that I sleep with another woman if it would make me feel better. I'm not sure what to do. I'm not even sure what I'm feeling. My emotions are all over the place. I think I could be able to forgive her and move past this through some counseling and time. But I'm still deciding if I want to. I don't want to talk to my family/friends about this, as they are fiercely protective of me, and I know this would ruin any chance of them ever accepting her. Am I overreacting? Is this something we could work through? And even if we did continue on in our relationship, will this always be in the back of my head? Comments. 1. My interpretation of the events. Things got rough and she decided to explore her options. She cheated. She decided the new guy was a better option and broke up with you. New guy gets her pregnant and dumps her when he finds out. She realizes she was just a good time to him and decides to get rid of the baby. She then decides to run back to reliable plan B. She returns under false pretenses and essentially restarts the relationship based on a lie. Then she only comes clean because she has to. Does this more or less sum it up? So now she putting in effort until the next time she spots a new plan A. I am not opposed to her, but she has not fulfilled the primary requirement, true remorse for her actions. She only came clean because her friend forced her. I am also willing to bet she downplayed the whole thing. Tell me if I am close. We were breaking up anyway, so I wasn't really cheating. This made me realize how much I love you. I didn't tell you because I knew it would hurt you. These are just standard cheater lines, and the fact she jumps to them is clear proof that she isn't at all remorseful. 2. Well done on writing that all down in the midst of an utterly shattering, confusing, emotional grenade. But you've taken that important step to pause and think instead of diving straight into reconciliation. You're not overreacting. I would say your reaction and everything you've written above is completely justified. She told me this herself, but only because she had a fight with her friend who was threatening to tell me all this. She said she was going to take this secret to her grave. I wanted to highlight this as the intention behind confession is so important. Doing so out of remorse is different from beating someone else to it, and kudos to this friend who threatened to tell you they have guts to avoid looking even worse. And in the same vein, feeling remorseful is different from being upset at getting caught/forced to confess. I suggest you pause and talk to friends/family and/or a therapist, the former who know you and your girlfriend may provide some perspective, the latter can help you think more clearly through this emotional turmoil. Good luck and sending you a big internet hug. 3. She even suggested that I sleep with another woman if it would make me feel better. Oh boy. This is a glowing red flag. Also, she cheated and she was not planning to tell you. Anyway, the real question is, are you okay with all of that? If I were you, I would find my peace away from a person I cannot trust. Good luck, OP. 4. She told me this herself, but only because she had a fight with her friend who was threatening to tell me all this. She said she was going to take this secret to her grave. She seems to be genuinely torn up about it and wants to stay together. She has suggested couples counseling to try and fix this. She even suggested that I sleep with another woman if it would make me feel better. These two paragraphs are as mutually incompatible as your relationship with that woman going forward, my dude. She told you only because her friend was threatening to spill the beans, not because she was torn up. This is important. She wasn't giving up this information willingly, out of the blue. This was for damage control. She's not doing this for your benefit, she's doing it for hers. So this leads to believe she's not torn up about this, because her suggestion that you go sleep with another woman to make you feel better. It's a classic manipulator's move to ensure you stoop to her level so she can feel better about herself. The fog is clouding your judgment, because from an outside perspective, she's fooling you. And I'll never fail to remind those that cheaters will always find another way in time to cheat. They have selfish behaviors and patterns, and so many of them fall for the same thing, the escapism, the selfishness, the gaslighting, etc. The next time your relationship hits a bump or sours as you said, she'll do exactly what she did here, man. Save yourself from that kind of hurt. You deserve someone better. The red flags I'm seeing here, I don't see how she's genuine at all, and it will probably lead her to hurting you again in the future. Best of luck and hope you're good going forward. Edit. This was very out of character for her, however she suffers from depression and anxiety which when mixed with alcohol, causes her to make really terrible decisions and becomes a totally different person. I'm sorry, but make it complicated for that person. Emotional health, alcohol, timing, none of that is an excuse. Cheating is a conscious choice. And so this not out of character for her, this is her character. Especially if she brought this stuff up to justify that action, she will use it again and again. 5. People don't break up just to get back after a couple of weeks or so. She had her cake, hid about it for a year till you got reattached to her and then now playing the good character game by offering apologies and whatnot. I am just seeing manipulation from her side here. Reconciling is not something you should think about right now, and please tell this to your family and friends before she sugarcoats this story, you cannot hide it forever from them. Your thoughts about her and her actions won't change anytime sooner, better to break up,